Hi, it's John from North Star Nursery, Garden and Home, your coastal gardener. I wanted to talk to you today about Daphnes. In the old days, we only got Daphnes like this or solid green leaves. They always kind of had they're not incredibly sexy or incredibly vibrant, but what they do fragrance-wise is so worth it in my opinion. This is an old style variegated one. This one is called Daphne Odora, Mejima. And so there's just regular Daphne Odora is the green variety. And what these guys do that is so incredible is that they bloom this time of year, usually right between kind of February and March, depending on the temps. The old variety only blooms once, but I have to say the fragrance on the old variety is a chef's kiss. It's perfectly kind of a citrus flower fragrance that is not to be missed. Now, one of the things about growing them here on the coast is they do not want to be sitting in wet feet. So how I handle them is that I think they should be in a container, or if they're in the ground, definitely in the ground where there's not a lot of water settling in the winter. I know that's a little hard to judge lately with the way the rains are going. But the idea is that if the water, after a rain, if the water stays visible to you for more than a day, that's not the area for these guys, and also for cherries. Cherries hate wet feet. So my preference is a container, and my success is in fertilizing monthly. So this is very important. The way I handle them is to treat them like a citrus. You'll read everywhere and hear everywhere and see everywhere that you're only supposed to fertilize them during the growing season. They will get funky looking in between the time that you start and stop fertilizing. So my suggestion is to fertilize them monthly, year round. You can do that a few different ways. I brought over the Maxi acid formula. These are acid loving, and so because I'm suggesting probably in a container is best, you definitely want to stay up on that fertilization. In the soil, if you were to plant it high and dry, kind of mound it up, you could definitely fertilize once a month, but you wouldn't have to go with something specifically acid loving. If you had Maxi all-purpose, you could still use that because our soil on the coast is kind of organically more acidic than not. This is also an option, the EB Stone Organics. I wish they would relabel it to say rhododendron, but they don't. This is what we use for rhododendrons and anything else acid loving, camellias, ferns, rhodies, Daphnes. The other thing, if you wanted to kind of take the lazy gardener route, if it was in the ground, you could use Osmocote. This breaks down over time. Again, because if it's in the ground and you're using this, you don't need an acidic fertilizer. This will still give you the nutrients, and the acidity is taken care of by our natural acid in the soil. So Daphne Odora, when it's done blooming, it's really interesting. This one is just starting to crack, and this one over here has already bloomed. And what you'll see happening is a great deal of new growth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new sprouts from where that flower was. Now, this is why we want to keep fertilizing. What I've seen happen is when people don't fertilize them, you tend to lose a lot of the center growth, and you kind of end up with this kind of bald, lower growth effect and all this greenery up top. So the more you keep it happy, the more leaves you will have as the season progresses. If you wanted to, you could certainly go through and clip some of these out if you wanted to keep it, more compact. They can get about 3 or 4 feet tall, the older Daphne odora. The others, this is a relatively new variety in the last, I'd probably say 7 to 10 years. And it is called Daphne Eternal Fragrance. And the reason it's called Eternal Fragrance is it blooms year-round. This is I think a very special plant. The fragrance isn't quite on the citrusy profile. I would call it a little bit more of a mixture of citrus and gardenia. So it has a little sweeter note, whereas the other one definitely has that sharp citrus flower scent. These can get quite large. So given the opportunity, they will get 3 by 3 feet size, height, and width. They can get taller if they're super happy, but I've not seen it happen so far. So this is Eternal Fragrance. We have it in 1 gallon. We have it in a 2 gallon. This one is really popping with a lot of flowers. And we also have them in 5 gallon. Now be prepared. These plants are very slow growing, and because of that, they have a lot of bench time at the growers, and so they're not cheap, but well worth it if you want something super fragrant by your door, by your bedroom window, whatever you want to do to try to enjoy that fragrance. It's worth it. The 1 gallons are nice. We don't have a lot of them, but we did get a few. This is a hybrid of Eternal Fragrance, and this one is called Summer Ice. These names. So what they did is they hybridized it to have a slight variegation to the leaf. It's very, very slight. It's right on the edge, but I think it's very pretty. Fragrance is still good. Still on that same kind of gardenia mixed with citrus flowers. When you look at these, sometimes they will defoliate a little bit in the winter season. And probably when you got the close-up there, you saw some of these sticks that were empty. Those are actually going to push out new leaves. So don't clip anything away until you get into later spring. I would say maybe pruning these guys, the ones that are the yearly bloomers, I would say maybe in like May or June, do some light cleanup, but it doesn't need a lot unless you really want to control the size. All right, I think that is it for Daphnes, but I just wanted to tell you to come and smell the Daphnes the next time you're at the nursery. We will see you soon. Hope you're having a great day.